My lesson will consist of two different parts. The first part of my lesson will be to demonstrate um, and talk about the life cycle of a seed, and then moving on to discussing the sequence of events and how it occurs within a story. The beginning part of my lesson will start initially on the rug with my students. And the way I will start my lesson will be to actually demonstrate some materials that are actually really important within this section. So I will first start off by showing my students an actual plant that has roots. I actually want them to actually see the roots, feel the roots, and also see how it initially has soil, and then from the soil how it develops into a flower. I would also have soil placed on the carpet already, which will be kind of covered up with some type of newspaper so the kids can actually get an opportunity to touch and feel it. Also, I will have some seeds that are really tiny to coincide with the story in which I'm reading, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. So I would have these students touch and feel the seeds and also put them in soil. And then we will do an actual final project, really fun activity at the end once everything is completed. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Then we're going to, once I'm done actually showing them the materials, we're moving into reading the story, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. As I'm reading the story, I will be stopping to point out very important vocabulary words that the students might be struggling with and not able to understand the whole story. So some vocabulary words that I would like to stress within this story for my students will be autumn, spring, summer, fall, and explain to them that those are the different seasons that reoccur within a year's time frame. Also distinguish the vocabulary words to describe what a stem is, a flower, weeds and leaves, and how also talking about seeds and how they blow with the wind, and talk about the sun rays and how it affects the seed in certain ways, and how what it means to actually sail within the story. Because if you actually mention the word sail, they'll probably just automatically thinking of a boat sailing on water, when in reality that's not how it's used in the book. Once I finish and complete the story, we will then have a chart that looks like this. This chart is supposed to actually be on a really big poster board, but unfortunately I didn't have the poster board, so I just drew it on an 8x10. So it actually talks about the process and how it goes from a seed, and then how it develops some roots, and then from the roots it develops some leaves. From the leaves you see the stem on the leaves. Then it grows into a flower. And certain resources that is needed in order for this to actually develop and grow is air, water, and sunlight. So this is just showing them the process and how it reoccurs, to also help them to remember what happened within the story. Okay. Once that is completed, I will be breaking up my students into 3 different groups. The first group of students will be the students who need a little bit more time and more attention from the teacher. That lesson will look like this. They're going to be doing the sequence of events chart. So, the sequence of events chart. And within the sequence of events chart, there are pictures on the bottom with words. It's also broken up into first, next, then, and last. So the students, all they have to do is cut it and place it in order. I actually started one for you, and it looks, it's upside down. It looks like this. So this is the first part. The first part is obviously you planting the seed, and the second part, to show me that the child is actually understanding, will be the seed coming out with a spout. Then, for my second group of students, I will have them actually complete an assignment that looks like this. The assignment looks like this. So the students, all they have to do is tell me what happens to the seed during each season, and then explain to me how long is a season, how long that the story took place within 1 year, because every season, the story went through every season, so that means a year passed by. Then they would actually have to tell me that this is called a season story because it touched base on every component. This is a completed version of what it looks like, which includes some sentences and then answering the questions on the bottom. Moving on to my last group, My last group will be completing something that looks like this. This is my more high functioning students, and they would actually have to complete the sentences and then draw a timeline of sequence of events of what happened within the story. Once that is completed and checked by the teacher, we will actually do a really fun project. The project will consist of the students actually planting their own seed. So each student will receive a pot. The pot has nothing in it. The student will be able to place some soil within the pot and then actually put their own seeds in so they can actually plant it and then eventually be able to watch their plant grow. So this is the ending part of my video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was very detailed with every component of what I'm actually teaching them. So students will be able to understand the life cycle of a plant, and then also be able to retell stories and sequence of events. And thank you. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.